Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy afternoon. What's going on? Time for another surf report. And today we're talking about this right here. Hang on. Let me check out the Polynesian Cultural Center in Oahu. Ooh, look at that tiki. Ooh, there's the dancers and the big luau show. All right. Is anybody watching this not have one of these at any point in your life? I can't imagine that, you wouldn't have one. Look, we still got one laying around our house. So I thought I'd bust it out for this presentation. All right. So tonight we're talking about Viewmasters. Been around for a long time. I recently sold a whole hell of a lot of them. So there is no better time to teach about something than right after you've just sorted through a couple thousand of them and then sold them. So I figured now would be the perfect time. And Bruce, I don't know if Bruce is in the chat. It was Bruce's idea. He said to Debbie, hey, can we do a show on Viewmasters? And I was already thinking about it, but I'm like, all right, no time like the present. So here we are. I don't know if Bruce is around, but thanks, Bruce. All right, let's get right into it. Had many. Yeah, is there anyone that didn't have one? Was anyone living a repressed childhood that didn't have a Viewmaster at some point? I can't imagine that would happen. All right. So here we go. All right. So here's the reason that we're talking about this. This is what I bought. Now I'm going to get into what I paid and what I've made so far, but let me tell you how the estate sale went. I knew there was Viewmasters and I don't remember the exact details because ahead of time, it wasn't that important to me, but I was there on day 2, kind of towards the end of day 2. Day 2 was going to end around noon or 1. And I think I was there at 11 a.m. So I took all the rest of the reels and said, let's talk deal. And we did. And I left the Viewmasters, I left these behind because at that moment, they seemed a dime a dozen to me. Now, this was the end of day 2. So who knows what treasures were there day 1. But now that I put this together, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have had a better knowledge when I was standing there about the Viewmasters themselves. And that's what we're going to talk about because I did good, but I could have done better. But that's the whole point of the Secret Beach. We continue to learn new things. We continue to talk about new things. So I'm excited to bring this one. Is there an Amish Viewmaster? Yeah, it just called your eyeballs. Actually, so things my great grandmother used to have, you would hold a piece of wood and you put the stereo picture on there and you would look through. That's an Amish one. All right, let's talk about the history because it was quite unique, and I didn't know the history. So let's talk about it. So Viewmasters debuted at the New York's World Fair in 1939 and at the San Francisco World's Fair in 1940. Now, World War II happens very shortly later and almost goes out of business because, like with a lot of products, all the steel and the paper and things of that nature had to go to making things for our soldiers. And so things that were frivolous, like Viewmasters, were the ones that would be like, no, you don't get your paper allotment. But then something amazing happened. They thought of a way that they could use it in the war. So GIs were given airplane and ship identification and range estimation reels. So see that box in that right there? That's what they were sent with. So they'd be sitting in like a foxhole somewhere clicking through and they're like, okay, that's the enemy plane. That's the enemy ship. This is how far that we could fire this gun. And so if you find these, those are quite collectible also. But this company only stayed in business because of helping our troops during the war. Wow, you never had a Viewmaster. That's crazy. We should get you one. Yeah, they're fun. All right, so once the war was over, the scenic reels became Viewmaster's forte. So it was like, have you ever seen Salt Lake City? No. Well, you can from your home in Chardon, Ohio. Have you ever seen Spain and Paris? Again, from Chardon, Ohio, you can see these things. Oops. Mouse is in the wrong place. All right. In the late 1940s, they started doing children's fairy tales with a heavy emphasis on clay figures. So if you have any of these fun, like, and not just in the 1940s, but like 1960s, they had a bunch of Disney ones and a bunch of like Flintstones, and the Pebble and Bam Bam one is pretty awesome. with the dinosaur in the water, but it was all clay models. Now, Viewmaster purchased the assets of his main rival, TrueView, in 1951. So TrueView must have went out of business at the fire sale to liquidate their assets. Viewmaster bought them, but when they bought them, they got the license to use Disney characters. So here's more of those clay figures. Here's the artist setting up the shot for the Peter Pan reel. So very cool. So I love these when I was a kid because looking at these clay figures, it felt like I was in the story. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. All right. So as of this morning, there were 23,688 results for Viewmaster on eBay. And that's just everything, the reels and the players. I didn't get specific. I just want to see how many items were on there at that moment. Oh, I forgot I had a little graphic. Ta-da! Okay, so these are the sold listings. Oh, I have my slides backwards. Crap. 12,528 current solds and 17,816 current completeds. So about, of all the completeds, about 2/3 sell. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so you can't do anything without the viewers. So let's talk about the viewers first, because this is where I was like, oh, crap. I wish I had way better working knowledge when I was there. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Where is that? Yeah, the new ones aren't anywhere as good as the old ones. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about viewers. Let's go to the web. Okay, so here's what I was going to do. Like I do all my presentations, I have this nice slideshow. There's a website that has all the viewers so awesomely put together. I was starting to make slides. I'm like, okay, that's just silly. Why redo the work? Work smarter, not harder. So let's just go to that website. All right. Oops. There we go. Okay. So I will put these links because there's going to be 3 links that we're going to talk about. So here is the 20th century stereo viewers. So then you have these drop downs: Viewmaster viewers, non-Viewmaster brand viewers, non-viewer items, and more information. So really on this website, we are concentrating on right here, the Viewmaster viewer. So when you drop down, here you go. They they go in order for the most part. So here's the Viewmaster Model A. This is the very early one. And this is where I was like, why would I reinvent this wheel? It gives you all the history. So this was made between 1938 and 1944. It was made from Kodak Tonight plastic. And so they really give you the example, all the history, and then it shows you what it is. Okay. So there's that. And then let's go to the Model 12. Let me make this a little smaller so it's easier. There's the Model 12. It was produced only in Belgium between 1976 and 78. Now, this is where it gets a little important because on the Viewmasters, and I'll bring up mine right here, on the back it says made in the USA. Okay, that's fine and dandy. The collectors, besides looking for the really old ones, are looking for ones made in Europe and made in Japan. Okay, so this is where I wish I knew about this site before I went to the dang estate sale, because A, I would have researched this better, and B, I probably would have been there on day 1 and then come back on day 2 to cut the deal for the rest. But this is quite an eye-opening website because you'll see these things at garage sales all the time. Now, some are very, very common and were sold in the millions, and not worth a ton. But then these older ones, like this Model C here, was made from 46 to 55, and then some were made out of Bakelite. So those are the things that you want to know before you go to a sale. That if the sale's specifically calling it out, you'll want to have a working knowledge of it. If you happen to run across them, at least now that we have talked, you'll have a better idea. Now, like these Model E's, they come in different color setups. So on this, and then that's the other thing. Some of the early ones had either a built-in light source or you could tack on a light source because, especially for who said that they didn't have one. Carrie Berry's mom never had a Viewmaster. You got to look into the light, because it really lights these up. I mean, you can see in the dark, but it ain't no fun. So with the ones that had a light source, you could do it at night. You could do it on a cloudy day. If you live in the Pacific Northwest, you could do it all the time. So this one had a light add-on. Now, what they're not showing in completeness here is, so this is a brown one with a white handle. So then this version would also come in like a red with a yellow handle. So those are the when you drill it down, those are the things you want to look for. And as you can see, this one was made in USA, Belgium, France, India, and Australia. So for whatever reason, the Belgium ones are quite desirable. And I don't know the reason. I mean, it just could be nerd collectors want a little bit of everything. Here's the Model F. This was more my mother's when she was a kid. And the Model G is when we start to get to where it's starting to look like, okay, we're now in the 70s. And the Model H. Model H was 86 to 81. I don't see the Model H too often or at all, actually. Let's go check out the J. I think the J is the common one. Yep. So the J is the 1975 to 1994. So right in my sweet spot of being a kid. But that is very, very common. Not to say they're not, not to say it's worthless, but there's a lot of those. A lot. But the one thing I blew, and we're going to talk about, I wish I would have bought the viewers because I could have actually got more money just throwing a viewer into some of the lots I worked on. This Model K with this whole rounded back, ain't never seen one of those in person. That is cool as hell. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Well, here, I can pop this link. I can pop the link in the chat for those of you who are here. And then I'll definitely add the links to the Secret Beach for sure. All right. So let's check out the L, M, and N, and then we'll move on. So here's a more modern one. Produced from 1977 up to 2000. And you can definitely tell it looks a little flimsier. As Brian was saying, the older ones are better. This M1, I've never seen this M1. This one's cool. Made by the Viewmaster International Group from 86 to 90. So only 4 years. So anytime you're collecting anything, selling anything, it's those things that were only made for a couple years that you can do quite well on. Okay. So yeah, this is one of those pages. So for those of us who are nerds for knowledge like this, you want to go down the rabbit hole. There's so much to go down, but that's, like I said, I'm not reinventing the wheel. This person did it awesomely. So I'll send you there. But now let's look at, oh, that was pretty smooth. Let's look at what the recent solds are. And then you'll see what's going on. Okay. Here's a 1940s, the rare blue color. Now, I didn't get nerdy enough just yet to know if the blue color is actually rare or a person's using rare like everyone uses rare on eBay. Not really, not discriminately. But look at that, 33 bids, $613. Now, was one of these at the estate sale? Nope, there were none that old, but there's plenty old enough. Here is a Model D, $274 with the box. Don't forget, original boxes will always add to your bottom line. Here is a K silver, $169. And here's a Model 10 J, which is more common, more current, so to speak, and a few reels, but $100 with the box. Now, they had these ones that look like heads, and they do okay, but you would actually think they'd be more collectible because, come on, a Mickey Mouse head in the box, ready to go, $85 is nice, but it definitely isn't crazy money. Like we just saw $600. We're about to see $900, okay? Here's that kick-ass round one, $75. Now, I don't think I saw one of those that day at the estate sale, but if I did, I'm really bummed. Here is a Belgian-made one, Model H, $75. And look, it's super easy. It says where it's made right in the back. So, for instance, this one, right here, just says made in the USA. Okay? So this isn't like we're having to hunt down something hard. It's just written on there. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. All right, here's a Bakelite one, Model E with the original box, $50. And look, you can tell it's not in pristine condition, but collectors, and I get this from the Tiki Mug standpoint. If you're a collector of Viewmasters, I would want one of each. And then within each, oh, is this a different color setup? Yeah, hell yeah. I would display them just like I do with Tiki Mugs. Now, this is kind of unique. Santa Clara Stadium, San Francisco. So they must have, when they built the new stadium, which is not where they play nowadays, they must have been like, here, have this as you walk through the gates on day one, $49. So very specific audience, but still very cool. All right, so there's talking Viewmasters. Now, anyone not have a talking Viewmaster besides Carrie Berry's mom? The talking ones, as you saw the scene. Oh, in case you don't know, since Carrie Berry. So what happens is this is what the reels look like. Obviously, there's two pictures across from each other that are the same picture, and when you look at it through the ViewMaster, it is very much 3D. Gives it depth. Okay, that's how ViewMaster works. With the talking ones, there's an item on the back. I'm going to show a picture in a second that is like a round plastic record, for lack of a better term, and you can hear a whole scene. So you'll see Snoopy and Charlie Brown discussing something, and you'll hear the two of them. Well, you won't hear Snoopy, but you'll hear Charlie Brown talking. And then you go to the next one, then it'll give you the more scene. Mom's home, and Kevin didn't know about the talkie ones. Cool. Well, I'm glad I was able to teach you something. Now, this was sold in Australia, but did sell for $117 with the original box, not in the best condition, and the player. Okay, so here's a close-up. So you can see on the back side, it's like basically like a little record. And if you were to look at it straight across, that's how it looks. So it's very, you very much know if you have a talking one or not. Now, for the most part, oddly enough, the talking ones, they go for okay money. You're going to see that in a bit, but it's shocking to me that the ones with more technology, the talking ones, aren't as sought out really as the ones that aren't talking, which seems kind of opposite compared to the other things that we have talked about and we collect and we buy and we sell. But, it is what it is. Okay, here's a working one. Now, this is the big thing too. On these are man-powered. As long as the thing, advances, you're good. With the talking ones, you got to make sure batteries weren't left in it for the last 40 years and it's all corroded. And you got to find a one of the ones with the sound on so you can try it. So, of course, you're going to get more money if it works. And if your original case is in better shape, more money too. All right, how cool is this one? Come on now. You had that mini Mickey Mouse one. How about the Hulk? That's badass. $113. Couldn't find one anytime recently. I got this off of Worth Points. Now there are some brand new ones that come with their things, more modern too. Because here's Toy Story 2, which isn't that modern since we're up to Toy Story 4, but is way more modern than the ones for sale as my mom had as a kid. But $22 with the case and the reels and the viewer, and then boom, this one just sold like in the last 3 days. $700. And they didn't even put the word rare in it at all. Oh, yes, they did. Sorry. It's ultra rare. My bad. Not only did they put the word rare in it, it is ultra rare. Leanne's got the talking one with the Disney Aristocats. Very cool. All right. Here. Now look at this. I just found this. So I didn't take time to figure out which one this was, A, B, C, D, E. But look, this person didn't even know that they should go find out what version it is, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They had the original box. They had two of them, and they got $25. But they're missing the whole thing because people will be searching for the specific one they need for the collection. I need N in brown. So if this was N in brown and they're searching N, this won't come up. So, and they didn't put the color. So they might have been able to get more money. But I just saw that, but I wanted to show you. Make sure you're filling out your titles correctly and doing your research properly. Now, this one, holy crap. So this thing on the back is the light source. It is an early one with the built-in light source, and it just sold for $800. Oh, and it says with eye caps. So there's caps that go over the eyes, kind of like if you have nice binoculars. I know for sure none of those were there. So, whew. Okay, so we've talked about the viewers. Now let's talk about the reels. Okay, so I grabbed a handful of prices and types just to kind of go over the things that you're going to find and tips on selling them. Now, they took an offer of less than $20. This is Disneyland's Adventureland. And in Adventureland is the Tiki Room. So if the Tiki Room's on here, boy, you got to call that out. They can call nothing out in the title besides Adventureland. And this is the Jungle Cruise. Now, the Jungle Cruise has changed greatly over the years. They don't shoot the hippos anymore. And they're getting rid of Trader Sam, which is what the bars are named after because it was insensitive to people of color. So when you have these old things from, like this instance, amusement park where it has changed, you got to play up the year it's from. So people who are looking for like, oh, when I was a kid in 1968, I want to see Adventureland how it was in 68, not how it is today. So those are things you want to play up. Still did okay. And look how modern they still make them. Wally. I mean, again, Wally is 13 years old now, but still very modern compared to what we were just looking at in a couple coming up. $20. Speaking of not modern, hey, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, $28. Now, it's just 3 reels. And what you're looking for when you're getting these, and you don't have to have everything, but I'm going to talk about what to do when you don't have everything. But it comes in a booklet, and that's how it looks on the back. A lot of times this gets open and closed so much, this part tears off. So when you're listening, you want to make mention of that. And then when you pull it out, typically it is in a little envelope, and there'll be 3 reels just like that. And then there'll be a booklet describing all the reels. Okay, so that's typically what is in there. Okay, so Close Encounters sold for $28. Now, the travel stuff, there's so much of it. Typically, it doesn't go for a lot of money. So to get $17 for Indiana, and look, I'm from Ohio. Indiana is not exciting. Neither is Ohio, for that matter. But to get $17, that's pretty good. I would say that's even higher than average. So that's pretty good on the travel ones. Here's Popeye, and he's in a long cardboard. That's pretty much how they came. What I just showed you, and the long cardboard. So Popeye sold for $15.50. How about the Partridge Family? They took an offer of less than, I think they took an offer of $12, if I'm not mistaken. Back to modern. Here's Toy Story in one of the cardboards, $16. Heidi. Oh, Heidi. $10, new and sealed. Now, $10 doesn't seem like a lot. Like, I don't waste my time with $10 CDs, but typically when you buy these, you buy a whole lot of them. And so, of course, you want to break out the singles that are worth a lot, then you group the rest together. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. I've got this laying around the house somewhere, the Kodak Hula Show. I was at the Kodak Hula Show when I was 4 years old with my mom and dad. $8. Now look at this one. So here's all the things that are wrong with this. Okay, I hate sellers who are so lazy they won't turn their picture the right way. Secondly, every one of these things has a catalog number, and they didn't bother to put that in their title. And then also, if, like, say there's Clydesdales, whatever the little reels say, whatever kind of horse it is, look, they only used half their title, or maybe not even half. So they did themselves a disservice and still got $10 for one without the envelope and without the booklet. So you don't even need all that if people want it. Well, I'm pretty much up to $6 now, Ann, on first class things, because now that they're doing zones, you know, when you sandwich this between a couple pieces of cardboard, you're running about the same weight as a CD. And if I'm shipping a CD to, say, Maine, it's in the 5 1/4 range, you know, if it goes up to 5 ounces. So $6, unfortunately, is not that out of ridiculousness anymore, sadly. All right, 101 Dalmatians. Oh my God, have you seen the new Cruella coming out? I cannot wait for that. $10 sealed. Now, here is some talking ones. They came in a much bigger case because, of course, they took up a lot more space. So there was 5 sets that they accepted an offer of $75 for 5 sets. Go Godzilla. How cool is this? Sealed Godzilla. And this is just one of those in the envelope. $65. Now I will agree with you here, Ann. $9.90 standard shipping. Come on now. Come on now. All right, here's a talking one of the Jungle Book. Sold in Great British Pounds, so this was sold on UK. And I don't know, I didn't look up exactly what they took an offer on this one, but as you can see, they're sold all over the world. How cool is this? Frankenstein. Oh my God. New and sealed, $46. Again, one of the talking ones. Now here's a whole set. Over 1,500 reels sold for $1,750. So you could sit down and do these one at a time and probably have gotten more money. But if you stumbled across this at an estate sale, you could pop up all this together and get a quick $1,800. I wouldn't hate on you for that. But if you have the time, or like I did, had a teenager or two to sort them out, that's even better. Okay. Holy crap. It came from outer space, and I think it's just one reel, where typically it's three. Just one reel. $919, 33 bids. People were fighting each other for this. I'm going to pass out. $900. But the Munsters, they took an offer of, I think, 400 or 375. Factory sealed. This one does have three reels. So pretty much, this got me thinking. I think we should do a presentation this year on horror stuff, because horror stuff, whether it be comical like the Munsters or real horror stuff like Friday the 13th, there is so much money to be made. I definitely think we need to talk about horror stuff. House of Wax, Vincent Price. Again, I think it's just one single reel, meaning it's 7 pictures, $416. Hi. Adam's Family, they had 2, one sold, 3 1/4. Big Lot of Viewmaster reels, some sealed, lots of packets. Okay. You do a lot better when you count. I'm seriously, because people are going to look at it. What lots to me might not be lots to Debbie, might not be lots to my mom, might not be lots to Ann. What's lots? Is lots 10? Is lots 400? You got to be more specific. Let's go visit Sri Lanka. $168. Now, I'm a little shocked by this, because the travel ones, although can do okay, why this one sold for so high, I'm not sure. But this is my favorite one. I show this in States. I'm like, oh my God, Cheap Trick had a Viewmaster. Like, all the horror ones are cool, but the fact that Cheap Trick, now I want to find this one. Now I want to find Cheap Trick Viewmaster, $150. Don Quixote, $107. Kings Dominion amusement park, sister park to Kings Island in Ohio. Kings Dominion in Virginia, $100. In package, never open. I'll say that one looks sealed. Tron, one of my all-time favorite movies. Here's what I just discovered. Okay, movie nerds. The girl in Tron, so the one standing there in the picture, is the same girl, the granddaughter of Ted Knight in Caddyshack. I had no clue till 2 days ago. Same actress. Oops. There we go. Go away. Okay, so this is a bolo for Viewmasters, but Tiki Gardens was essentially a walkthrough. I'll use amusement park for lack of a better term in Florida. And it was just all these little tiki vignettes and stuff. So anything from Tiki Gardens is highly collectible, and the tiki nerds, like myself, like my mom, would search it out and add to our collection. So Tiki Gardens on Viewmaster for sure. But if you find anything Tiki Gardens, first call me, not my mother, and I'll tell you what it's worth and if I need to buy it. Okay, so sear this, you have nothing else, into your brain. And how about instructional surfing? Oh my God, I love this one. Instructional surfing, $70. So there's all kinds of stuff out there. And then way more modern. How about Disney's Tangled? $60. $60. That's not old. No, we're going to lose your number. Call Jason first. All right, Siegfried and Roy. And of course, you've got to do it where you have to hold it like this. I mean, seriously, set it on the table, take a picture. $20. IMAX 3D. Yeah, so I maxed it a lot of these Viewmaster reels. And okay, so I'm finishing up today because, of course, I like to fine tune till the last minute, and I fine tuned till about noon today. And I thought, I'm sure Viewmaster didn't make nudies, but was there a company making nudie reels so you could use them in your Viewmaster? And boom, I found these 6 reels, 42 erotic shots, pictures, sold for $105 back in 2014. So there can be adult stuff too. I've never seen any because, like I said, until today, I never thought about it. But there are companies that will make Viewmaster reels for you. I didn't bother to read the fine print, but I wonder if you could send them naughty photos and they can make them for you. Yeah, of course there would be. But that's why I always think anytime a product could have an adult part to it, I'm always looking, because that will typically bring you money. Can you zoom in? Actually, I tried, Brian. see if we had a better shot, but the way the photos end up in Worth Point, they're not the greatest quality. So yeah, I couldn't get closer. It just got distorted, sadly. Okay, research. Now I'm going to show you some research, but 2 more websites you have to be fully aware of. And again, no need to reinvent the wheel. Let's just talk about them. Okay. There is a database for every single reel. Every single reel. So let's go to the database first. Right now. Okay. So whoever built especially this site, it's amazing. Okay, so here we go. Home, search, browse. Let's click on browse first. Let's go. We'll go 3 reels. And then here's the numbers. So A000 to A99. So there's the first 99 here. Boom. And so you can look them up this way. So A039 this is Ontario. And it'll tell you, it'll show you the picture of the front and the back, almost always, but not 100%. So it'll tell you how many reels should be in there, and you know what the picture is. But you also can do it this way. So for instance, this is Silverhawks, and the number on Silverhawks is 158. So you go back up to the top here, and you plug in 1058, and there it is, Silverhawks. And sadly, they don't have a picture for it. Maybe I'll see if I can send them one and help them out. But it says blister pack. That's this kind of pack. But they don't say anything else specifically because they'd never seen the picture. So they don't know that it's 3. But anything you have, you can look up this way. Because sometimes, majority are 3 reels. Some are single reels, and oddly, some are doubles. So and sometimes you can't tell. You can't tell if they should be 2 or 3. So with this, the ViewMaster database, and here, I'll pop that in the chat, and we will add it to the Secret Beach, of course. With this, you can research anything you want. Ooh, let's look up Cheap Trick. I want to see what the number is. Cheap Trick. There it is. There she be. L33. No picture of the back, but they got a picture of the front. All right, so this way, it's that rare item where there is a pretty much complete database. Complete. Like I find CDs that aren't on Discogs, which is rare, but it happens. And so using the ViewMaster database, I haven't stumped it yet. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then the other one is 3dstereo.com. I'll pop that into the chat and I will add it to the Secret Beach. But again, they have pretty much everything. The viewers, the gift packs, all the reels, but it's kind of like a sales site. So it's kind of like replacements.com. So if you know what replacements is, if you're selling China and silverware, I do believe it'll show you all the different pieces for each pattern by each company, and then they'll be for sale. So if I want to go to ViewMaster cartoons, so we'll click on that. So here's Barbie, and then someone's selling it for $24. So we can click on it, and Barbie's Around the World Trip, 3 reel packet, number B500. And so again, it gives you all the information you need. So, because not every time are you going to have the envelopes. And so sometimes on the envelopes, and you have like, say, a box of just loose reels, you got to start putting them together. And these kind of websites help you put them together. Oh, that's cool. Where's that? Just said my friend's family had their personal vacation photos all on ViewMaster reels. Did your friends, mom and dad, have some naughty ones too? All right, so that's the 3 websites that you can use. Of course, eBay sold. Me, I'm happy to help. But with all that, you should be able to research any of this and really not ever come out stumped. Between this presentation, those 3 websites, eBay sold, and me, you should always have an idea of what you got. Okay, so here is what I bought. Now, they were all spread out nice all over the table. Look at this. Someone at the estate sale company took time to put all the complete ones they found in all these sandwich bags. And then they stapled them shut. I'm like, damn, that is a lot of work, because this was what was left over at the end of day 2. I don't even know what the hell was there on day 1. Holy cow. So I scooped them all together in that box, and they were wanting $8 a piece. And that's a lot of $8 right there. All right, so that's what I spent, $400. And I felt good at it first, and then we did some work. I'm like, uh-oh. And then I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. Okay. Hi, Steph. What's happening? Okay, so I broke them down into OK Teenager. I had a 15-year-old over here. Sort them out. Put them all together and make as many matches as you can. And then her sister, the now 18-year-old, I said, all right, let's start listing. Now, first you got to research them. So anything singularly that would do well by itself, we would list it by itself. Here was 54 from around the world that weren't complete anythings. And we didn't go too specific. We're just like, all right, 54 around the world. Here are some highlights: Bermuda, Belgium, Vatican, Sweden. And we put it up at auction. And so 54 loose non-completes got me $48. Now look at that fun first photo. It fills the whole square, and it's kind of like a controlled mess. So that's a recommendation. Okay, and then we put little groups together. So this Christmas Carol, Christmas Story, and Rudolph weren't huge sellers by themselves, but I put the 3 together, and I got $15. All right, the world of science. So we had the insect world, the prehistoric life, our planet Earth, probing the past, rocks and minerals, birds of the world, and conquest of space. Again, put that together in a little grouping, $29.99. Boom. Religious ones: Holy Land, Birth of Jesus, Noah's Ark, Moses, Christmas. 6 bids, $41. Now, 4 on the cardboards: Grand Tetons, Mount Rushmore, Glacier National Park, and Yellowstone, $35. Now we looked; these selling by themselves were selling for about $8, $9. So 35 together is about the same amount of money, but one listing and done. Okay, another lot of Disney stuff this time. Again, nothing complete. 49 incomplete reels got me $40. And complete, but no booklets except for a few. A lot of 17 got us $35.69. And some more scenic ones with the envelopes. A lot of 19 got us $31. Now, take a look at this picture. So we did 84 complete sets, and we wanted to fill the square up. Again, kind of a controlled mess, and we just let the cards lie where they lie. So as you can see, 252 reels. See, I counted off the sets, 84, and I counted off how many reels, 252, and let people go to town on it, $275. So by now you've realized I've already made money, but we'll show you how much I made in a minute. Okay, we put some kid lots together. So here is 18 kids, cartoons, fairy tales, and then we called out a few specifics: G.I. Joe, Casper, Mother Goose Rhymes. 12 bids, $71. And, oh, excuse me, there was 5 Menudos in there. Early Ricky Martin, hit me like a cannonball. So I've been getting around 30, 35 for each of those. And I think my last one is up right now. I think I've sold 4 of the 5. But when you sell something like this, although rare, it's not a high demand. I didn't put a single listing with 5 because then it doesn't feel rare at all. I sell one, let it sit for a couple of weeks after it's sold, and then I list another one and sell it and wait for a week or two. Did I list each title in the 84 lot? No, we did not list each title. We did give some more highlights down below, but it's one of those things where you could, maybe you'll make them a little bit more, but maybe you won't. So you got to determine how much work involved. Is the return going to be that much bigger if we list them all out? And based on other solds that I saw around eBay, no, it wasn't going to be that much bigger. So I thought, all right, we're just going to highlight it. We'll call out some fun exotic places, and then we should be okay. Okay, this one looks good, but it's actually bad. And I talked about this on Thrifty Business, if you saw this episode of Thrifty Business. So it's assorted reels. There's a bunch of sets. There's a bunch of extra booklets. There's a bunch of loose ones. There's a bunch of empty envelopes. And so this was going to be my kind of finale and it's going to be awesome. So teenager lists it on a Friday. It was kind of her project. I was letting her run with it and she did quite well. And Saturday, I'm sitting here working like I am today at my desk and I have an Apple Watch. So every bit I get, my wrist vibrates and I keep getting bids for this. And I'm like, man, there are people really going to town on day one of this auction. Well, here was the problem. She only listed it for a 1-day auction. So whereas $200 seems nice, I think with a 7-day auction and time to marinate, this was like $350, maybe $400. So, it's my business. I should be checking my employees, especially the teenagers, and I do. But there's a point where I'm like, all right, you're doing good. Run with it. Yeah, I wish I would have noticed that was 1 day, but no use crying over spilled milk. Time to roll on. Oh yeah, well that was her other mistake, Elisa. But yeah, so whereas that one person was selling the 3 lot with $10 shipping, we sold all these poundage for $5. Yeah, that was our mistake. So yeah. Who's having a bunch of sex? Wait, what I missed? Did I say a bunch of sex? Oh wow, Fall of Viewmaster listed at $578 Canadian, which is only like $14 American. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. But this shows you everyone makes mistakes. She was doing fine. She just effed up this one, and we talked about it, of course, because she cost me money twice. But when you have people working for you, there are times when they're going to cost you money. That's just part of it. And so if you can't handle that, then you can't have employees, but you also can't make your business go bigger if you don't have employees. So it's that give and take. We've all been there. We've all been the employee who's cost an employer money. So, all right. So here was the National Museum of History and Technology from 1977. Nothing exciting, but $10. So if you bought a couple hundred 3 sets, and you got $10 for all of them, that adds up very nice. Okay. Now, when I buy entire CD collections dating back to early 2000, I realized that I'm going to squeeze every penny out of every collection. I do buy CDs, one at a time from stores, but also I buy whole collections. I'm actually buying a whole collection this weekend off of Facebook. And so when I would get the whole collections, of course, I would list all the expensive things first, like we did with these Viewmasters. We went through and listed the Menudos and the good groupings. And then we listed the medium price stuff and then all the crappy stuff. And the Caesar, same way, we put together in lots. Now with CDs, I would, back in the early days, I would work them down to things that were worth less than a penny, really, or a penny. But then cases, some of the cases on CDs that weren't worth anything, the cases were way better shape than the cases I had on other things. So then I would flip cases. Like I was squeezing every last penny. And so we started doing that with the Viewmaster too, because I realized that all these empty envelopes I had were decent money too. So here's empty. Here's 18 empty envelopes, or actually sleeves, not envelopes. We got $12 for. And it's one of those things where could we list it a little bit higher and sat and waited for the right cost? I'm like, yeah, but this was a fun project to be, it took us about 2 weeks to sort, list, and sell them. And it was actually kind of cool to see something go from that box of a ton of stuff to almost done within like 2-3 weeks tops. Now we still got a few things hanging on, but yeah, usually I break down CDs and they sit until I find the right buyer, but these we got in and we got out. I kind of like that. I'm not going to do that all the time, but yeah. Yeah, just like selling parts from a game. You got to look at every single thing that came in the collection you bought, no matter what it is, because the dorkiest thing, the thing that seems worthless, when you put 28 of them together, you get $13. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but I've already squeezed out the big money. Let's fine-tunely squeeze out the small money too. Get out of here. I just sold a Jim Neighbors Christmas CD. Golly. Let's see what I sold that for. $9. Woo! But it's May. Who's sitting at home right now in May? Was it May 22nd? And thinks, you know what I need right now? I need a Jim Neighbors Christmas CD. All right. So here's 50 empty reels for $17. And as you can see, these are different reels. So look at these reels and look at these reels and look at these reels, look at these reels. And so we wanted to try and keep them together. Now look at this one sold. Hey, Jim. Hi, Jim. This one sold directly on eBay Canada. And I had, my slide got cut off. Looks like I had about a dozen of those. So $13 in Canada. And then here's another lot of 12 for $10. And then we had other things left over. And Zoe's like, what are we doing the rest of the stuff? I'm like, let's try it. So here are some instruction booklets. See that thing at the top? They come with every Viewmaster. They all say about the same thing, but there were different colors. So again, I'm thinking like a nerd collector. What if someone wants all the colors all at once? And so here was like one left over from The Wizard of Oz, Grand Canyon, and $17 for that. And that's really, at this point, you're looking at going, is this just trash? Nope, that's $17. All right, now here's envelopes that we had nothing to go with. And so we put 17 empty packets together and didn't get a lot of money. But again, might as well keep on trucking. $8.49. And ta-da. So I still have maybe $200 left of the ones that I haven't sold yet that should sell. So we'll top out around $2,500. So I invested $400. I cut the deal at the estate sale, and they were like, I'm like, come on, it's the end of day 2. What else are you gonna do with these things? Let's go, $400. And so of course I had to pay teenagers a couple hours to sort them out for me, but it was a nice return. And like I said, it was a nice quick return because I didn't futz around and wait for top dollar. So it's that rare time when I kind of let the market dictate. Well, we did many auctions and I didn't wait for top dollar. I'm like, let's just move these in and out. Because of course, too, CDs, they're in a hard case. They're easy to alphabetize. They're on a shelf. These things in the little sleeves, they slide down in the box I was trying to hold them in. So they're always a mess. And the more you touch them, the more apt they are to tear. So I'm like, you know what? In and out, nice and quick. So I think that it actually taught me that maybe I should be in and out a little bit quicker on other things, too. So I am going to adjust some of my selling practices. Wait a minute. What did I miss? Wait. Anne said some people have spouses that cost them money. So wait a minute. What? Where do we get to that? Who cost some people a spouse? There we go. True. I just bought a CD record box set that I haven't told Stacy about yet. She's coming over soon. Don't tell her. Don't tell her. Boom. All right. And that is your Viewmaster. So what I would do is wherever you search, eBay, if you've got your email set up for Craigslist, OfferUp, Mercari, put in Viewmaster. The best thing is like me. You end up at a garage sale or an estate sale that has a bunch. I'm not going to go hunt out singles. I'm not going to do like I do with CDs. But when I'm at any place that has a bunch, I will scoop them up. I will try and cut the deal. And now that I have a better working knowledge of the viewers, I know at least to read where they were made. I will pick up anything that's not made in the USA. And of course, I will pick up USA ones of the older versions. Oh, okay. Yeah. Employees cost them money. Yep. Spouses cost. I get it now. You're right. You're right. Yeah. These cannot go media mail. Media mail can be inspected. So it's not worth taking the chance. And yeah, it can be inspected and it does get inspected. So make sure to follow the media mail rules. Other things can get inspected, but media mail. If they, the post office has seen millions and millions and millions of media mail packages. So they've got a working knowledge of what a CD shape is and what a record shape is and what a book shape is. So if it's a little something out of the ordinary, so like that big lot of that I sold for $203 and we only charge $5 for shipping. If I try to do a media mail, it'll look like a box that isn't normally, media mail. So they would probably then open that to search it. So as a heads up. Yes, we all need to be post office dorks so we can make sure that our stuff moves the quickest. All right. Any other questions? This one actually came in a little short. I'm bummed with myself. It came in like 9 minutes short. Dang it, Jason. 9 minutes short. Any other questions? All right. So coming up in the next 9 minutes, we are having our cocktail party number 8. Second rummer up is our drink for this time, and we are doing 2 truths and a lie again. So yes, I'm definitely not short, just 9 minutes short. Yeah, it's one of those things where, and that's why I'm glad Bruce said that. I'm glad I did it, because I knew Viewmasters. I've sold some others in the past for money, but I've never found this many. And so, like I said, once you find something in that massive quantity and you buy it and you go right through it, that's the other thing. That's why I wanted to go right through it, because if I would have done it a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, I wouldn't have the knowledge as much as, okay, we're going through all of this right now and figuring it out. And so once I have that knowledge, it's then time to spit it back to you guys. So when you look out at a estate sale, oh, by the way, this is a estate sale. They collected Viewmasters like I collect tiki mugs. And so at the end of day 2, there was still 50 viewers, and then all sizes. These common ones, the talking ones, probably some old ones I should have grabbed, and then all these reels. I'm like, what did they have on day 1? If this is the leftovers, think about that. That is absolutely crazy. My postmaster opened a media mail that was a large paint set. I'm guessing they weren't happy about it. Yeah. So keep your eyes open. And please, if you guys find any, especially in mass quantity, let us know. Let us know. We want to see your journey now, because I took my journey from $400 to $2,500 in sales. Heck yeah. Is there a Viewmaster Tiki mug? No, I don't think so. But I could make a Dennis Sin Viewmaster reel. You got me thinking. You're being funny, Elisa, but you got me thinking. Next time we do something from the Dennis Sin, we could send a free Viewmaster reel, because everyone's got one of these laying around. I like that idea. Non-Viewmaster question. Well, I'm sorry, we can't answer those tonight. That is against the rules and regulations of webinars. Where do you purchase blank cassette cases for switching music cases? Lori, if you message me later, I don't remember the website, but I just ordered some not too long ago. Got a pretty decent price. So if you just message me on Facebook after the party, I will go into my emails and I will find it for you, and I'll give it to you, and then I'll even pop in the group if other people want it. But I did find a pretty decent deal, and it took me a long time. The deals that I used to get years ago just aren't there anymore on cases, and some cases aren't even made anymore that I need. So I wish I would have stocked up even better a long time ago. Oh, Mom has a Viewmaster and reels to share on Sunday. That's even better. That's did you buy it for a Peggy quarter? Funny thing though is when I did the what's in your junk drawer, I found a whole bag full of Viewmaster reels that I bought a ton a long time ago that I was like, oh, we're just going to sit around and look at them, which we never did. They've been in that junk drawer for probably 12 years. And so I'm like, oh, well, shoot. Now's the best time to sell these, because I'm hot with it. I know what I'm doing and getting them up. So keep your eyes peeled. Okay. We'll end a couple minutes early so we can go switch into party gear and mix up our cocktail. So it is a Zoom. Let me go bump the Zoom. Let me see how quickly I can find the Zoom to bump it. So it is cocktail party number 8. Now, Debbie said she was having a hard time finding the post the other day, and I wanted to let you know that if you search hashtag cocktail, because I always make it so it's easier to find that way, you should be able to find it. Oh, there it is. Hashtag cocktail. First one that came up. And I will. Oh, no. I don't want the cocktail. I want the party. I was going to bump the recipe. If you don't have the ingredients by now, then you are SOL. All right. I can find Zoom. That's what I got to find. All right. Here's the Zoom. Bumping it to the top. And we will be in it in 5 minutes. Hi, honey.
Hi.
I ended early. I was 9 minutes short. I know that crazy.
Talk too fast.
I know. All right. Now, if you've not gotten your 2 truths and a lie together, do it now. You don't have to participate, but it is fun. And if you haven't seen any of my examples or played with us last time, we will explain it for you. And we won't make you go first if you don't have one yet, but you can kind of come up with one. All right. All right. So we'll see y'all in 5 minutes. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon. Have a great next 4 minutes, and I'll see you.